please consider liking the video and subscribing. Let's begin. With FNAF always being in the news, and especially with a new game coming out, I wanted to talk about a giant part of the FNAF genre, the FNAF fanbase, specifically the fan games. In this video, I wanted to go over some of the most scariest FNAF fan animatronics across many different games. Some of these are crazy. Anyway, let me know down below what are some of your favorite FNAF fan games. Write it down below, I'd love to read it. Alright, let's start the night. The first fan game we have is Tierland. It's about finding your missing brother who has called you to his amusement park. Here you must survive against many different animatronics, but in my opinion, the scariest in this game is the main one, Teeler. Now, as seen in his description, Teeler is a dragon, but oh boy, this is a scary looking dragon. Not even because he's a dragon, but his appearance. I mean, look at him. Let's start off with the outfit. First, we see Teeler wearing a jester outfit, but it's all patched up with stains of dirt and blood. Looking at his face, that doesn't help either. The teeth are extremely off-putting to me, being almost human-like. Yes, he's a dragon, but he looks like a cross between a human and a donkey. It's scary. Next are his eyes. They look so lifelike. Finally, his weapon of choice, an axe. Also in his jump scare, which was done really well, you can see how his eyes turn purple, furthermore making him scary. This animatronic is in fact off-putting, but nothing compared to the ones that are coming up. Moving on to number 9. Next, we have one of the first FNAF fan games and one of the most unique ones. We have Five Nights at Treasure Island. In this game, you must work the night shift and watch over the abandoned Disney attraction, Treasure Island. Here, there are many different Disney animatronics that will appear and terrorize you throughout your adventure. Now, I just want to say this is a cool concept for a game. When it first released, it was met with praise. Now, as far as the scariest animatronic, in my opinion, I'm giving it to the Face, one of many Mickey Mouse iterations. The face that I find more terrifying is Gen 1. When looking at him, we see that he's a distorted Mickey with a small head and small ears like a bat. He's missing both legs and has his entire body melting. Perhaps what makes him stand out is his eyes. They're not cartoony and cute, oh no, but actual human eyes. What makes him creepier is his jump scare. Even when he's killing you, he remains lifeless. His eyes don't show any emotion. His face even skinnier than before. There are many cool iterations of Mickey in the game, like Photo Negative Mickey and Steamboat Willie. While they are cool, they don't scare me as much as the Face. Moving on to number 8. Next, we have Jolly 3. If you don't know, this series is based off a real-life corporation of fast food, Jollibees, where the main specialty is chicken. Now, I've never ate at a Jollibees. Let me know down below if it's good. If you look at the real-life Jollibee, he's very cute and friendly, but here, oh no, because the scariest animatronic from this one is Withered Jolly. So take Jolly, right, and just put him through hell, and you get Withered Jolly. First, we have his mouth, a giant slit that's a constant smile. His eyes pure white, the rest of his body withered and beaten up. This animatronic has a really cool design. The intimidating presence of him, of course, adds to the spookiness. When looking at the jump scare, it shows us there's more than meets the eye, because when you're killed by him, you can see weird tentacles sticking out of his mouth. If you're going to do anything weird to me, at least give me some chicken first. Anyway, I hope they put him in their stores. Moving on to number 7. Coming in at number 7, we have another fan favorite FNAF game. I really like this one too. It's Five Nights at Chuck E. Cheese's Rebooted, a game where you must survive against the lovable characters from the Chuck E. Cheese family. Chuck E. Cheese, as you know, is one of the main inspirations for FNAF. As for the scariest animatronic in this one, I'm giving it to the rat himself, Chuck E. Cheese. Yes, the others are scary too, it's just for some reason I find Chuck more off-putting. His face is disturbing. When taking a good look at him, we can see how his eyes are just dead. The skin in his body rugged and warpy, the giant snout and teeth. He's just something I don't want to be alone in a room with. Looking at his jump scare, though I will admit it's not the scariest in the game, it's still creepy to see his dead-eyed face up close. What gets me is his presence in the camera. It's really horrifying. Looking at this image here, the way he's slumped over watching us is off-putting. But perhaps the scariest is when he's outside the office behind the player. Here, you can barely see him crouch behind the wet floor sign. He's scary, great job, really cool game in general. Moving on. Next, at number 6, we have the rat from the Five Nights at Candy series. Now, if you don't know, Five Nights at Candy's was one of the most successful FNAF fan games, with a lot of people waiting on the 4th installment, hopefully soon. Anyway, the scariest animatronic here is the rat. The rat is like a secret animatronic boss in the candy games. When you look at him, you can tell that this rat has been left to rot. His entire body looks so old and worn out, his empty eye sockets, but despite that, you can still get a feeling he's looking right at your soul. I think he's really well done, just as the idea of him. A rat is generally an animal a lot of people find nasty or are scared of. Another level of fear that adds to the rat is his presence in the cameras. You thought Chucky was bad? Oh no, the rat moves like an absolute monster, coming out of the storage closet and slowly making his way to the office. Also, he doesn't have glowing eyes, so you can only see him through the cameras and not through your door. Finally, at the very end of the jump scare, he turns blue. When you pause the frame and add color, you see this. As if he couldn't get scarier. What am I even looking at? The rat is one of my favorite fan-made animatronics of all time. Next, at number 5, we have another one of the most loved series, The Joy of Creation. Such a great title for the game too. Here, the scariest animatronic goes to Creation. Now, Creation is a mix between all 4 of the main animatronics: Freddy, Bonnie, Chica, and Foxy. This thing, in my opinion, has a better design than the Blob from actual FNAF. Anyway, when taking a look at him, we see all parts of the animatronics, the first being the obvious. He has Freddy's head and, of course, the top hat. but looking closer, he actually has Bonnie's lower jaw, making his face much more sinister. One of his hands is that of Foxy, and by looking at his feet, they belong to Chica. Yes, his presence is enough to make you run, but the jump scare is even scarier. You can hear him roaring from the house. When making his way up to the attic, he slowly opens the hatch and pops out, doing a little flip, then stops to look at you, then proceeds to kill you. The roar heard is really loud and terrifying. I personally really like the design, and the Joy of Creation game is definitely really good. Our first and only non-game character on this list is Chica from the Battington VHS series. First of all, this series is absolutely horrifying. Shout out to Battington for his genius FNAF mind. Anyway, he has a lot of VHS tapes that are horrifying, but the animatronic that I want to talk about most and find most eerie is Chica. Fun fact, this was the first video I saw from Battington. It was the sound response check video. As you can see, we see Chica waiting and ready for us. It opens up with this actually so well done bathroom scene. It looks so good. Chica looks crazy. Her height is at least 6 or 7 feet tall compared to this young girl. When she opens the door to the stall, this really does feel like something out of a nightmare. Looking at her design, she has a gigantic beak, giant head, and what I find most off-putting is her eyes, especially the dark spots around them. She's staring right into my soul. I hope Battington makes a game from this VHS models, or just somebody make a FNAF game with the VHS aesthetic. Please, make it first person. Oh my god, that'd be awesome. Moving on. Entering the final 3, we have another game that had some great animatronic models and was well liked in general, FNAF Plus. Here, the scariest animatronic, and this one is the puppet. Now, yes, I know, he's not an official animatronic, but this is an exception. Well, why? Well, you find my answer right here. Anyway, this design is by far the scariest puppet design I've ever seen in any game. Upon further inspection, the face model is done extremely well. Looking at it, it looks lifelike. The dark dead eyes with the tears running down its face. This thing just smells of nightmares. Its long neck is something we dream of and think of when we think of a scary figure. Finally, I think its color gradient does a great job adding to the paranormal presence. When looking at its jump scare, which isn't really a jump scare, it just kind of tweaks out in your office, it actually stands out pretty tall and gigantically, like a ghostly figure. This is a scary character. For sure, let's move on to the final 2. At number 2, we have the FNAF Night Toy Animatronics. Now, as far as I've seen and researched, I don't think these are from any game, just made models. Now, I would like to give credit to the creator, but these images were posted on Reddit, and the original creator has the account deleted, so if you know who this is, or if you yourself is watching, just an absolute amazing job. The scariest animatronic here is Night Toy Bonnie. Just by looking at him, he is horrifying. Now, I imagine he stands at like 8 to 9 feet tall. His long arms, imagine being chased by that thing. He reaches out both arms to grab you. Oh, no, please, no. Next, we see his face. Oh, his face. The pale white face, the small eyes. I would love to add how his teeth are somehow both sharp and smooth at the same time. I can only imagine what his animation looks like. I hope this game is made with the models because they're just too good to be left to rot. Now, hold on. This is one model. The second one here is he's on all fours. Like, oh my god, just when I thought it couldn't get any worse, he's on all fours. This is crazy. Like I said, I hope there's an actual full-length game made with these models. Moving on to the final animatronic. Finally, we have reached the number 1 spot, one of the most scariest and highly praised fan games ever made. Five Nights at Junior's. I mean, come on, you can't have a scary animatronic list without these guys. You just can't. And while any of these animatronics can certainly be ranked at number 1, because I mean, well, look at them. Oh my god, these things are just nightmare fuel. Looking at them just increases the stress levels. I'm crowning the most scary FNAF fan animatronic to the Mangle. Now, yes, it might have been obvious, but I mean, come on, you can't beat this. Look at her design. It's very intense. The game's description reads the following. Using pieces of different animatronic endoskeletons to create this monstrosity. During the final act, all the withered animatronics hop on a conveyor to give their last remaining parts to fully finish the Mangle. Sorry, Scott, but this here is the best version of Mangle ever seen. She literally is the definition of fear. She has a little owl on her shoulder who's kind of cute, but she's like a giant monster of mush and parts. So many wires, and just a lot of things put together. Her boss fight is really cool, further adding to the fear. Halfway through the night, she will summon all animatronics to the conveyor belt, so basically they can sacrifice themselves, give themselves up. The music adds so much to this. Once complete, she will now be the new threat. Seeing her in the cameras is both amazing and horrifying. Just imagine this chasing you through the vents, or let's say you're sleeping and you see this towering over you. Oh no, I'm okay. So congrats, Mangle, you are the scariest fan-made animatronic, and I don't think anyone's going to beat you. I just want to say thank you all very much for watching. If there are any animatronics or FNAF fan games I didn't mention, please write down below in the comments. I'd love to read them. Also, let me know what are some animatronics that you found scary. And I want to say thank you all for the support on the channel recently. Oh my god, it's been amazing. Really, thank you so much, and reading all your comments, seeing everything that you guys enjoy the content. So thank you all so very much. So please make sure you like the video and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Take care of yourselves, and peace out.